You spend millions building mental availability. A shopper walks into a retail store intending to buy your brand, but they stop, hesitate, and walk away empty-handed. That is the ultimate retail failure. Getting your product onto the shelf, what we call presence, is essential, but geographic distribution alone does not guarantee a transaction. Converting intent into revenue requires a complete mechanical system, the physical availability triad. Right now, with only presence locked in, the structure is unstable. If a brand only relies on presence, it is exposed to retail chaos. You're in the building, but not necessarily buyable. To survive, the brand must be engineered to be found. That is prominence. Finally, you need the right structural solution, a buyable configuration for that occasion. That is portfolio. All the advertising memories you have built decay the moment a shopper faces a physical barrier at the point of sale. If they can't find you or can't buy the format they need, they'll choose a competitor. Marketing ROI is not realized in the broadcast studio. It is realized at the shelf, and succeeding there is a three-part exercise in retail physics. Look at this standard transaction environment. A shopper searching for a hairdryer has to navigate dozens of listings, competing price points, and promotional badges simultaneously. This is competitive clutter. Rival brands deliberately pack the same space with similar visual signals to intercept the sale. On top of that, there is situational clutter, the architectural noise of the physical store, or the interface distractions of an e-commerce platform. Add in mental clutter. The shopper is stressed, distracted by their phone, or thinking about their next meeting. Their attention is deeply compromised. To cut through this noise, brands deploy shopping distinctive assets, specific visual anchors like a distinct color or shape. These act as a cognitive bridge, connecting advertisement memories directly to the physical package on the shelf. There is a persistent myth that brands must constantly redesign their packaging to stay fresh and hold consumer attention. When you change an established visual identity, you force the shopper to relearn how to find you. You actively degrade your own prominence and make yourself harder to buy. Standing out requires ruthless consistency. You build prominence by training the consumer to look for a specific visual cue and then never breaking that promise. The final pillar is portfolio. Effective portfolio management is not about dividing buyers into demographic segments. It is about designing products to fit specific buying occasions. Principle 1. Be buyable over buyers and time. Map your formats to multiple contexts. First, capture market volume by offering sizes the highest percentage actually buys. Simultaneously, minimize internal duplication. Sive's slightly different premium tiers creates friction, confusing the occasion, which leads to Principle 2. You must benchmark your portfolio size against your actual market share. The data shows a distinct pattern. As brands grow and secure greater market share, their SKU counts naturally increase. But correlation does not equal causation. If you manage a small brand, artificially inflating your SKU count will not magically generate market share. Blind proliferation fragments your production resources and guarantees internal cannibalization. You end up competing against yourself instead of rival brands. A rigorous portfolio offers targeted structural solutions to specific purchase barriers. It does not rely on sheer volume of options to drive growth. Every brand relies on a core. These are your top-selling variants, the standard formats and flavors that possess the highest widespread penetration. Principle 3 is simple. Identify and prioritize this core above all other initiatives. Look at the mathematics of a typical portfolio. The top 50% of a brand's SKUs reliably generate 75% of total sales. Yet boardrooms frequently make a critical error. They siphon resources away from these high-volume performers to fund unproven new product launches. We often see severe misalignment. The core brings in massive revenue, but receives a fraction of the marketing budget. Bleeding the core to finance innovation puts the business at risk. If the core declines, the new launch must completely replace that lost volume. Those core sales are not guaranteed. They are heavily dependent on light category buyers, people who purchase infrequently and whose memories of your brand fade quickly. Without relentless, continuous investment in both mental and physical availability, those light buyers will forget to buy you, and your baseline revenue will steadily decay. The primary function of your marketing budget is to defend your core revenue engine. Novelty must never come at the expense of your foundation. Below the core sits the long tail, generating just 25% of total revenue. Principle 4. Actively manage this tail. Retain SKUs serving strategic functions, like specialized channels or new tests, but actively cull the freeloaders, low-selling variants that absorb bandwidth without providing incremental value. Once the tail is pruned, you apply Principle 5. Make only highly disciplined additions to the portfolio. Any new SKU must justify its launch costs through strict criteria. First, the addition must remove a specific physical purchase barrier, providing a new size, a different price point, or a new payment mechanism that the core currently lacks. Second, you must account for the duplication of purchase law. A new SKU will inevitably cannibalize your own core in direct proportion to your current market share. You have to model that loss upfront. A profitable portfolio requires violent pruning of dead weight and mathematical vetting of the cannibalization risk before any new product hits the line. Mental availability creates the potential for a sale. Physical availability ensures it actually happens. Realizing your ROI requires the integrated structure of the physical availability triad. Presence gets your product into the building. Prominence ensures the shopper spots you through the clutter. And portfolio ensures you offer exactly what they are ready to buy. Look closely at your current catalog. Audit your long tail today. Identify the freeloader SKUs and eliminate them. Then interrogate your marketing budget. Make sure your capital is heavily weighted toward defending your core revenue generators rather than chasing the illusion of innovation. Mental availability creates the potential for a sale. Physical availability ensures it actually happens. Realizing your marketing ROI requires the complete, integrated structure of the physical availability triad. Presence gets your product into the building. It places your brand on the battlefield. But prominence ensures the shopper can actually spot you through the clutter, and portfolio ensures you are offering exactly what they are ready to buy. Look closely at your current catalog. Audit your long tail today. Identify the freeloader SKUs and eliminate them. Then interrogate your marketing budget. Make sure your capital is heavily weighted toward defending your core revenue generators rather than chasing the illusion of innovation.